Hey guys, we just got a bunch of snow and I am stuck in my house. I cannot leave, and I decided this would be a great time to show you guys my studio and kind of living space, and how I've designed my entire room around being the most productive I possibly can be. Having a room like this is all the difference in the world when it comes to completing creative tasks and just getting lost in creativity. And it's kind of like a designed playground where anything that could spark creativity is just like immediately accessible at any time. And honestly, the root of all of it was thanks to my decision to turn my couch and like general like video gaming, movie watching space into this fantastic studio space. I turned my coffee table into a work desk, and that means that with the push of a button, I can change my TV audio into my computer audio and just get cracking on music. Because of how central it is to the room, it's actually a much better working position than this table over here that's back up against a wall and has back reflections on me. Being in the center of a room is actually typically better. So even though it doesn't seem like a normal creative studio space, just based on the setup, it's actually better and it's more effective when I'm making like critical mix decisions. So my monitor of choice is these Kali I&H right here. These hit well above their weight class. They're actually three-way coaxial speakers, which basically means there's a main driver right here, a mid-range driver right here, and on the inside of that is a third high-range driver. So that actually fires from within the mid-range driver. And what that does is it gives you a bit of a better sweet spot when you're trying to find the right place to mix. I find it very helpful when I'm chilling on the couch here and I don't want to be solely focused on where am I in the mixing position. I can lay down, I can just kind of kick it. Sometimes I don't care about the mix as much as I care about just getting comfortable and being able to like feel the music around me. I got like even tables for them, and I got these like little decoupling things that lift them above so the vibrations don't go through the tables. And those are very, very, very helpful in just isolating the sound. The other speaker that I pair with this setup is the KRK like Rocket 12-inch sub. And that just comes in handy when I really want to like feel that low end. I don't keep it on all the time. I actually have this cool little foot pedal under my desk and I can trigger it on or off. Not only is it great for music, but when I do watch movies, being able to feel that bass is just ridiculously great. Now, speakers are important, but they are not the only thing that matters. Now, the other important thing is a preamp, and I have chosen to use the Mark of the Unicorn M4. I find for the price point, it has the best digital analog conversion, and the sound stage that it produces is just very clinical. There's not a lot of coloration that you get with something like an Apollo. Now, I love the DAC on the Apollo. It sounds glossy and like jelly, but the DAC on the Motu is just a little more accurate to my ears. It's miles above the Scarlett or the PreSonus. I used to use a PreSonus. I've never been a huge fan of the Scarletts. I know a lot of people use them, but I just find that they kind of sound overloaded. I think they're fine for recording. I know tons of people use them, and these days, like, you really don't need to be too picky. But for me, I don't necessarily do a ton of audio recording. I mostly do mixing and like digital production. For me, I just want really good DAC, and that provides it. The other really cool thing about my setup is I've designed it so that I can have a second screen, but it doesn't live here. It's just this like stand, and my iPad snaps right onto it magnetically, and then I have that second screen between my MacBook and my iPad, and when I'm not using it, it just kind of folds down neatly, and it's just super out of the way, but only really there when I need it. And I'll constantly have like analysis software up on there, where if I'm working on a score or sound design or even videos, I can have the video displayed up on that screen, and it works just really well. And then when I'm done, I can just pop it right off and take it with me. Another thing that really makes this space kind of feel playful and creative is my Ableton Push. Having this just live on the desk, I usually keep a cover on it, and it just enables me to, you know, pop it off and immediately have like an instrument to start playing around with and manipulating my DAW with really quickly and getting ideas down while creativity spikes. And I highly recommend getting a Push if you use Ableton and you don't already have one. It definitely makes Ableton feel a little bit more tactile. One of the other really great things that I've been playing around with lately, it's called a tour box, and I can take this anywhere I go. Sometimes I'll even just lay in bed and I'll have it next to me. It connects to my computer via Bluetooth or USB-C, and it is just mappable for any program that you decide to use it for. I have it mapped to Lightroom, Photoshop, Ableton, but the main thing is DaVinci. This thing has kind of been a cheat code when trying to learn this art of video creation and video editing. It has sped up my workflow like crazy, and I've seen a lot of people get sponsored by Torbox. I am not affiliated with them in any way, but oh my gosh, like I can't rave enough about it. It makes it feel like playing a video game, genuinely. It's one of those things that makes the art feel more playful, and for me that's really important, and it actually does save time. It has haptic feedback too, which just, again, it makes it feel tactile when you're working. I have just fallen in love with using this. I take it literally everywhere, and because it's so small, I can just fit it in my backpack and go. The cool thing about it is it will actually recognize not only what program I'm using and automatically switch the mapping to match that, but it will actually recognize like what page in DaVinci I'm in and automatically switch. So if I want to color grade, it has a different mapping than if I want to edit my timeline. So for you video editors out there, this is a really, really cool pickup. Now, one of my other kind of essentials for when I want to get creative is candles. I love big candles, and I also love small candles. I like using big candles just in my room generally to like have a scent. I will put little tea candles down on my table while I work, and I can use that kind of as a reference for time passing. By the time it burns down here, maybe that's when I'll like wrap up. And instead of having like a timer or a clock with numbers, that always kind of stresses me out. I don't have to pay attention to that. I can just look at a candle. It just feels a little more organic. Plus it sets a vibe, and you know, who doesn't like pyro? As well as having, you know, that whole studio space. Over here, I have kind of like my video world. And if you've watched any of my other YouTube videos, you will probably recognize this space. It's really the only space that I typically show, and I will sometimes sit at this desk. I'll have that screen and I will put videos up there. If I want to sit at my desk, I can. Now right over here I have this this turntable. I will keep this up if I'm trying to, you know, work on a mix. If you take a look over here, that is kind of my desk that I do some review stuff on. I just got a bunch of new gear in, so I'm kind of sorting that through, and I'm also about to leave for a trip tomorrow, so I've been going through some camera stuff. And right now we actually have kittens, so it's been really nice coming home and just like playing around with these like 5 little kittens. We actually just had one adopted. We're looking for homes for all of them because we already have like way too many cats. Another thing I really like that my girlfriend got me is this like sun lamp. It just gives like off yellow light, and it's really, really nice to just make it feel a little bit brighter. And here you can see like this is with it off, and then with it on, it kind of just gives like a nice glow to the room. Makes it feel a little bit more like daylight in here. My room is pretty dark in general, so it's really nice to have things like that. I have all my lights on like a Google thing, so I can turn them on and off. That includes like my studio light over there. So when I tell it to turn all my lights on, everything just boots up. Anyway, that's kind of my room in a nutshell, and like my whole studio space. Let me know what you guys think about the whole like couch studio combo. For me, it works really well, and I don't really know why more people don't do it. To me, it kind of just clicked one day, and it felt like a no-brainer to be able to like use my really nice speakers for my TV as well. It would be really cool to get these speakers up behind the couch and then maybe have like a 5.1 setup if I got a center speaker as well. Maybe I'll do that in the future, but for now, you know, it does the job that it needs to do for me. If you guys have any ideas of how I can improve my setup, or if you have any questions about the gear I use or how you can set up your own home studio, let me know down in the comments. I really want to engage with all of you guys and talk more about all this cool gear stuff. Anyway, have a fantastic day. Stay safe out there. I will see you guys next time.